outside the where the convention is, and I'll turn you around so we can see the inside. Everyone's in there. Actually, they're just over there. You can't see them through the glass. My friend the seagull is back. Hopefully he won't terrorize me too much. Anyway, I spent the last hour having a great discussion with a gentleman named Jordan who works for Atlassian. Maybe I'll point you all at this green bit. That'll look a little bit nicer. We got a bit of mountains in the background. But had an in-depth discussion around how to build agents, specifically how to add them in automations. The suggestion was, instead of having to go into RoboChat and talk to an agent and have it do something, instead weave it into existing automations in Jira or Confluence. The reasoning here is this improves the workflow. I, as a human, don't have to go open up Rovo, find the agent, talk to the agent, and do things. It just is automated. For example, if I need to analyze sprints, maybe I just have an automation that triggers when the sprint is closed. That calls my Rovo sprint analyzer agent, and that does its job and then continues in the automation. This is also important because apparently skills that an agent has, the actions it can take in other systems, won't work if it's called via automation. All it will do is pass back its response or its reply. Now, this is important because if we build out an agent and we give it skills, make a page, access content, etc., that won't work if it's in an automation. So if I trigger when a sprint is closed and the automation runs, calls the agent can't take action. It can, however, pass information back into the automation flow. This is great because in my mind, automations are good at following step by step. Do this, do this, do this. That's all they do. They don't think. Rovo doesn't really think either. However, Rovo can help us process and analyze information. This means we can have the automation trigger do something every time when this happens, then go to the Rovo agent, which can think for us a bit. And that could be getting a list of work items to edit. That could be working with, analyzing other systems, what happened in Google Drive or Teams or something else, and then send that information back into the automation to continue the process. This would be similar to asking another human, hey, can you go analyze all these work items for me, and have them bringing back a list of here are the ones that are most interesting. That to me was really powerful because, one, the technical limitation of skills not triggering or firing or working when it's called via automation is important. I would have assumed they did, and it's not clearly documented that they don't. So it's good to know that, but then also being able to pass that information back into the agent. There's a more advanced use case where we're using a JSON object to do that. Honestly, when a bit over my head, I have to sit down and really think about how am I going to use JSON, JavaScript Object Notation, to handle passing data back and forth. But there were some suggestions on some really powerful ways to do that. What does this button do? I'm going to push a button. Oh, start a live goal. I'll start a gift goal. Sure, why not? I'm just going to push buttons on YouTube. Now, this got me thinking too around, okay, if I can have an agent gather information about multiple things, I'll use Confluence as the example, go through and find pages that are missing labels. I could have that agent get that list of things and then suggest labels. And then I could have it pass back into my automation a list of things that need labels. Now, Rovo can't take the action to add labels today, but automations can. So imagine I have a trigger happen. Thank you, Shaw, for the goal. I really appreciate that. I'm gonna do a little like. I do this stuff professionally. I flew up to Vancouver because I wanted to come. Thank you for helping support me do that. I'm also looking at going to other RovoCons. I'm trying to talk myself into it. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I can have an automation trigger every Monday at 5 a.m. Go out into Confluence, get me a list of every page missing a label, and then I can have it suggest labels for each page. That agent can then feed it back. Oh, sorry, some context folks who might have missed me. My name's Rob. I do training for Atlassian Topics. Atlassian's a software company that makes work management software like Jira for ticket tracking, but the collaboration knowledge-based stuff for Confluence. They have a one-day conference in Vancouver, Canada. So right now I'm in the convention center. I'll pick a better background next time. We have some of the mountains up there. And I'm at this conference learning how to use their AI tool. And a lot of this is around prompting, so like generic things. What I'm describing right now is a specific way to use this tool that's more powerful than I had thought of before. Usually when I think of AI, it's just talking to it like ChatGPT building content, right? Instead, I can use it to replace a workflow that I as a human have to do though. I work with knowledge bases. Every month I have to go in and update pages. I have to read them and figure out what's next. I can automate that. I can have the system start on a Monday and it can give me a list of things that need to be changed, and then the automation can take that information and take those actions for me. I, as a human, don't have to do that. Like, I really like that. I need to go play with this because I understand the concept. I need to go see the idea. If folks are curious for learning more, I'm going to do another live session before the end of the conference, probably around 4:15 today. They are also lighting the Olympic torch. They have one in Vancouver from the 2010 Olympic Games, and they're going to turn it back on because of the Winter Games. It's just over that hill. I'm on the second floor of a building, but it's just over there, so we're going to go to that. And then I'll do another live event just describing what I've learned at RovoCon. Again, Rovo is Atlassian's AI tool. So that was the biggest learning today. How can I pass information from automation to a Jira agent? I'm going to duck back inside, use the comments, find me online, ask me questions about what you want to learn, but you'll see me again in a couple of hours just wrapping up what I've learned before I have to go home to San Francisco. So thank you all for joining me. Be on the lookout for more and let me know how I can help you learn.